All right, we are back again, and we have Tiptoes round two. Nate and I are playing Bullszat, and it looks like we have one hell of a draw, and we're going first. So good. Man, the Workshop plus Chaos Defiler plus Arcane Signet is so nasty. So we can lead.
Oh
The
yeah.
question is, do we want to lead? The thing we can him turn two off of the tower if we want to. I think probably the best play here is Workshop into Signet. That gives us the ability to Chaos Defiler turn two and kill off something like a turn one Soul Ring. So I think that's
Yeah, I
better than
like that.
hemming.
I was trying to contemplate if there was any reason to like remotely consider turn one tower him, but
No.
him just gets stronger as they
Yeah, exactly. As their hand gets a little more diluted. We can handle every turn one play he would ever summon anyway.
right.
And I'd rather just him turn two and then Chaos Defiler his commander when he plays it on turn two.
And this is another one of those situations where probably his best play is like, well, that's solid, but we got it covered.
Yeah, we got
But
it covered.
probably one of his better plays besides land tax would have been just a wasteland the shot. But if he were to waste his turn doing that when we already have Signet,
Yeah.
that'd be good for us. So
Okay, so we do need to consider the danger of light pause. Let's see what we draw here. I'm pretty sure we just
yeah.
have to kill land tax anyway. We don't want him to just. Oh
Oh, that's
man, so
beautiful.
good. Yeah, this
We can
gets
kill
us.
Antax and him.
Oh, off the tower.
Um, yeah, using Rog, and then next turn we can use Tower away the Defiler to kill his light pause.
Yeah, it does shut off the Mox Amber for a turn and makes us one turn slower to hit Teversat. But I think that play is probably better. I agree. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I think we just right now we just cast the Chaos Defiler and kill land tax.
All right. So don't play the tower first.
Yeah, don't play the tower first. There's no reason to. I think.
All right.
Why did they make this thing an artifact?
So crazy.
Yeah, it is really insane.
I do enjoy it though. It's like,
So the other option here, consider this. What if we kill Lotus Petal? Hang on.
yep.
We don't. Well, I'm not going to say we do that necessarily. But if we kill Lotus Petal, what is he going to do? Is he going to sit here on one land while he gets beaten in the face for five? He's going to have to cast Light Paws. But the question is how much do we consider land tax a threat in the long game? We don't really know what kind of handicap. Maybe he only has one land, but we can
Right.
force him to play a second land, and then at that point we can tower out. We can play our second land as the tower, and well, we'd still be one short of casting Tefishat.
I'll tell you the
Oh
reason
wait,
I
wait,
don't like it,
wait! You can tower the Defiler and
or I
kill
don't
both
prefer it
and kill
rather,
both.
is that it just my concern with doing that is that yeah, no, I don't mind towering the Defiler, but I think we kill tax here for sure because we,
Yeah,
we definitely don't want that effect.
I agree, but we can kill the petal too. The question is, do we? I don't think we do.
I don't think so. The reason is if he has a plowshares, this thing won't trigger. It's only
Yeah.
graveyard
Okay.
unless we were
So we kill land.
yeah.
Hang on. We kill land tax. Then we sack Regra off the. But then we lose the Mox. No, I think the play here is.
Um
I think this is what we do. We use the Defiler to kill land tax. Then we sack
okay.
the Defiler to him off the tower. And the next turn we can sack Regra. That keeps the Mox Amber active, and then we can use the tower next turn to cast Tevishat.
It's not horrible, but we won't have removal like
But
I know we're doing this so at this point, but we won't have removal for his light pause like guaranteed
okay,
if we go this
let's play
route.
the tower and just him then. And
Yeah.
Sacro We can always recast him in a turn anyway.
I like this. Yeah, I like
Yeah, I
this.
like the insurance of being able to kill his thing with the tower next turn.
And it does feel like now is the time to him. I
And we have
don't think
plenty,
we're
and
gonna get
we have plenty of land anyway, so we don't really need it.
yeah.
Ethereal
One
Arm,
mana, one mana. Really
Massive
good.
Law and Grace, yeah. So if he plays his commander here, yeah.
Yeah, if he misses a land,
Oh,
oh
he's
yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
toast.
toast, absolutely toast. Oh, so sick. Okay,
Sweet.
red mana, Curse of Nopulence.
I'm sure we're gonna play the swamp, so we'll just play that.
Attack.
gross.
Yeah, now we tower and recast Rogue Raw. Unfortunately,
Well, we can play Tevish.
No, we can't. The Mox Amber doesn't work right now.
2, 3. Oh, I see. I see.
Man, Chaos Defiler's like MVP in every game. It's so
Seriously.
good. GG's. Yep, GG's indeed.
Yeah, GG.
Sorry, Tiptoes, but you are not. Yeah. The deck he's playing is like some degenerate combo thing, I'm sure.
Right, it looks super gross. Like normally
It is no match for Bullszat.
No, yeah. If you're not removal heavy and you're a little bit slow, you probably just get torn to shreds. Like if your deck is, say, the kind of deck that might be good against us with a bunch of counters and not really anything else going on.
Yep.
You're just trying to stall for big mid-game plays. That kind of deck would really struggle with his commander, right? Like you play first turn commander and then a second turn 1 mana thing, and so forth. It's just without bounce or something in mono blue, you'd probably just lose.
Totally.
But I mean, we're so loaded with removal. And for whatever reason, this card is just rising to stop every game.
I know, seriously. Do we have a game queued up right now?
Yeah, got a game waiting for a joiner.
Let's go take a look at the lobby, see if there's anyone to hop on to.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's see what we've got here.
Speed things
Right,
up.
no high level deck.
It's really a shame that multiplayer games are just so awful online because there's always multiplayer games to be played, but it's just impossible to ever find a good experience, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would enjoy like something that they don't offer. That I would enjoy would be, and it's basically the only way I like to play multiplayer is Two-Headed Giant. I think that's super fun.
I agree. If they supported Two-Headed Giant as a format, I would be all over multiplayer for sure.
Yeah, like Two-Headed Giant Commander would be just awesome.
My suspicion is that they don't even have the people at Wizards of the Coast at this point who are capable of coding Two-Headed Giant for Magic Online.
Mm-hmm.
There's been such brain drain at the company on so many different levels that they probably don't even. And remember, they gave the client away or they sold the client to Daybreak Games a while ago. And Daybreak Games has the basic ability to just upload new sets, but they don't really have the ability to do anything in terms of creating completely novel formats. If you think about, they did make the competitive commander thing, but the competitive commander thing isn't really any different from a regular constructed format, whereas Two-Headed Giant has very special rules about it. The way the turns work, having two people move at the same time is a really unusual kind of way to just run things.
Right.
And there's no precedent for that in Commander. I guess you could kind of fudge it by having one player go and then have the other player go as a team, rather than the way that it's currently done where one person can do something and then the other person can do something and you can go back and forth and talk about it. But yeah, wouldn't it be cool to have Two-Headed Giant online? It is, in my opinion, the best way to play multiplayer Commander. Kind of really
100% agree.
Really the only way. Because at least you have defined goals as a player. For people who are watching this video, I don't know how many of you go out into the wild and play multiplayer as your exclusive way of playing, but every time I do it, I find myself incredibly frustrated because I don't like doing things where there's no goal. I don't understand the point of sitting at a table where the goal generally seems to be as innocuous as possible so that people don't get angry at you, so that people don't resent you, so that people don't target you or gang up on you. That's the only goal that I can determine playing multiplayer strategically. It's either that or work in a very one-dimensional, linear, goldfishing style to a combo kill with no interaction where you just kill the table and then there's no chance of reprisal because you killed everyone in one turn on the turn that you went off and there was no time for them to do anything back to you. Otherwise, you're all kind of just sitting around hoping that you don't incur the wrath of the other players so that they then target and utilize their removal and spend their resources to hinder the other players, which always benefits you. And that's the only strategy that I can determine. And most of the time, there is no real goal. because people don't even really care that much about winning. It's really strange that this format has become the most popular way that people play Magic. And every time I go into a card shop these days and wind up playing multiplayer that isn't two-headed giant, I always just kind of wonder after 10, 15 minutes why I'm even bothering to do it.
Yeah, that summarizes my experience with it pretty
Yeah.
well. It's people have mentioned playing, made the suggestion multiple times, like, hey, look, there's a CEDH multiplayer game. Why don't you join that? But it's just it's so odd to me. I mean, if I were gonna, if I said, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna join as many multiplayer CEDH games and try to win as I can. I'm sure I would just end up with a Thassa's Oracle deck with like probably Esper, and I would run like Abeyance, Silence, and Orm's Chant so that I could just turn everybody's ability to respond off for a turn and then go for the combo kill. And since that's the only thing I'd be there to do, everything else is just basically don't mess with anyone, just play cantrips and let everyone do whatever they want to do because you don't want to piss anyone off.
Exactly.
And then you get enough mana and you play 3 cards and kill the table.
Yep. And the only way to really play an interactive game of multiplayer, I find, with any type of good deck is to kind of wind up playing the sheriff. And when you wind up playing the sheriff, you just get all the outlaws mad at you. You get 3 people angry at you. You get 3 people resentful. And
Right.
particularly in live games where there's all these unspoken tacit rules around what you're allowed and not allowed to play, what's considered sportsmanlike or unsportsmanlike, pretty much the only feedback you get is negative because you violate somebody's sense of ethics in the game and then they get pissed off and they complain and they whine and they rage quit or whatever. It's never a positive experience, ever.
Yeah.
It's just never positive.
Yeah.
I never
And
played.
then
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. I just and then those things it's weird because online those things aren't really, none of that really makes any sense because um, there's no rule 0 in a random pickup game with strangers
Yeah.
you're never going to see again potentially.
Yep, no social accountability at all. And plus,
So,
online, people can grief you, generally by just going AFK. So when people get pissed off, they just leave the game sitting there idling on their turn, and everybody has to wait around for 5 minutes or whatever until the client disconnects them. Or even worse, they can come back every
yeah.
3 or 4 minutes and click OK and then walk away again for 3 or 4 minutes. And then what are the other people in the game supposed to do?
Yeah, yeah, you can get griefed for like I've had somebody do
40,
that where
45 minutes or something? Yeah.
hmm
It's just ridiculous. So I don't know why so many people submit to playing multiplayer online, but you can just see right here it's pretty popular. All right,
Yeah,
let's look at the deck and see if there's anything we want to. If we had to
adjust
list,
or test.
yeah, if we had to look at the 3, let's say, weakest cards in this current build, to me, I'm going to think of my 3. I'd like you to think of your 3 for a second here, and we'll see how
Okay,
much
yeah,
they
that's
overlap. We'll take turns, and I'll start.
I don't know about let's see, weakest for the build, right? Like not necessarily weakest in Magic, but
Yeah.
just like hmm, that's an interesting one.
All right. Have you decided?
Uh, kind of. I'll go with it. It's hard. This deck's so good.
I honestly think the weakest card in the deck currently is Shatterskull Smashing. I think this card could very, very easily just become
Ah,
a better land.
yeah, I agree. Okay, I do agree with that. It's been a very long time since I've actually played the red side.
It's for me. It's
The
been over a year since I've actually played the red side, and
Yeah,
I've taken cumulatively probably 60 points of damage off Shatterskull Smashing because it's a bad mountain.
right.
And a few times I've been printed in on a Chrome Mox and felt pretty good about that. But most of the time, whenever I see that card, I just wish it was a black-red dual land.
Right, right.
One of the countless black-red dual lands that we're not using.
Yeah, there is the one that well we talked about. You could run the Tainted Land. There's also the one that taps for colorless, and I think black or red if you control a mountain, something like that.
Yeah, that's
Dragon Skull.
and it could potentially just be a surveil land too. Although I guess the
Yeah.
Skull Smashing the land coming to play untapped is pretty good. But this is an example where it's a modal card, but both modes are so mediocre that it's barely worth using. because a mountain that deals 3 damage to you that isn't even a mount that's not even a mountain when it comes into play is beyond terrible. It's like one of the worst lands ever printed, right? And
Right.
red X to deal X damage divided is an extremely poor removal spell by any measure. So the fact that this card is terrible, no matter what version you play it in, means perhaps we shouldn't be using it still.
That's an interesting argument. Yeah. Hmm.
Just something to consider. As far as other,
That's definitely worth considering. Yeah.
yeah, as far as other cards in the deck that are on the weaker side, it's pretty tight, honestly. I think the statue is certainly up there, and then it's something like Paradise Mantle, which isn't really tested enough, but may still
Yeah.
be worth. We just have to sort of determine how often do you wish Paradise Mantle was just another land versus a 0 mana artifact that kind of accelerates you sometimes.
There's also the option to run. I mean, I don't think we want 2 basic mountains, but there's the fetch land that gets basics only. It's not the worst if we had 4 basic lands, but I don't think it's worth running at 3.
Oh, you're talking about the Prismatic Vista?
Prismatic Vista, yeah.
Yeah, Prismatic Vista is not bad. I would never run that unless we had a basic mountain in the deck.
I have currently I'm running the basic mount. It feels okay,
Yeah, I could see
But
replacing Shatterskull Smashing with the Prismatic Vista. I think I'd be happy with it more often than not. And
can we get away with it with just 3 lands? Do you think?
I think probably, yeah. I think
I'm willing to give it a shot. Yeah,
yeah, let's ditch that.
for
I kind of
sure.
like
Let's
this
try
change.
that. I do like having flexibility. Oh, here's a guy looking for a game,
Yeah,
Francois.
let's take him down.
Go for it. With that change in place,
Cool. Did it queue up?
we can test that out. Okay, sort these, and yeah, looks like we're ready to go.
All right, Francois. I've played this guy a bunch of times in the past. He tends to play reasonably strong stuff.
Yeah, I was
Edward Kenway.
happy
What
to
in the
see.
hell is that? Oh God, some abomination. I don't even care what it does.
It's hard to,
Let's
yeah.
just kill him.
The
Yeah,
All right.
look how good Mantle is here, though. So awesome. It's just
Yeah,
it's a safe source of red and black. It gets us way closer to Necro, even though we drew all these colorless lands. So very, very happy to have it here. Let's play
and we
Let's play
can,
Saga, yeah, and Mantle,
yeah.
and then equip it to him right away.
Which means we can make a creature.
Remember, it's
Oops.
0 to cast. Yeah.
Yeah. Which means we can make a turn 2 Saga token if we want because of the mantle, which is pretty nice.
So whatever Edward Kenway does. Why is there a card in
Yeah.
Magic called Edward Kenway?
I do not understand.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It has a lot of text
As
too.
I've said repeatedly, desecration of our beloved game.
Yeah. What in the world is this card? A vehicle. Okay.
Oh look, good old Soul Ring, and we've got Malfunction.
Yeah. Pretty happy about that.
Very happy about that. Hopefully, he does not have a Signet. Very nice.
Nice.
So good, man. How good is this card? Metal and also Shatter.
It's funny how many effects get better in Commander when you add Shatter to them.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't play I mean, there's definitely Shatters we're not running, but it certainly makes a card more appealing. Oh, that was
Man,
nice
so
timing.
good. And we can. So the question is do we use Rogue Raw to tap? I think we get the curse in play, and we attack. Use the treasure token to blow up the Soul Ring. It's
Yeah,
just-
this is one of those ones where this is the one that was the one
yeah, the
like
one
where it
case
fights
splash
itself.
exactly. But it's the same thing.
It quickly doesn't matter.
It's also the same thing with Springleaf Drum in a way. So
Right, yeah. And if he has a counter here like mental misstep or something, then
actually, is it worse or better to attack here? It doesn't really matter since we're using the thing anyway. So let's just tap him. There's no reason to attack. It's just like it's not like you get any bonus for making artifacts at the end of the game or something.
yeah, you're right.
So just do it this way. So good.
Yeah, I
Boom.
forgot. It also has that making things unblockable, but it's rarely.
Unlikely to be good. Damn, that's so
Uh,
good. Deflection, shatters, and artifacts. So insane.
Absolutely love it. All right.
Yeah, I love that the mana crypt is gone, honestly. It just it reduces the range of broken things the opponent can do by so much, and we do not depend on it.
Right.
Mr.
Yeah, because
Frost.
right here they play Mana Crypt and we're really panicking.
Exactly, and that happens a lot. A lot of the time they get them both. You deal with the Soul Ring, the guy still has Mana Crypt. Blue and red. What do we got here? You could draw a black mana here too. Oh,
Oh,
Ragavan. That's fine. Blow it up.
thank you for passing priority. No.
Insane. The guy's just got to be like, what do I have to do? How does he have everything perfectly? If we draw black mana here, actually, can we get
Oh yeah.
Oh, we can get. You know what you can get? You can get Opal attack.
Oh, I see. Because of the mantle and the token.
Yeah, but the question
Um,
is, do we? I don't think. I think that's greedy. I think we'll get black mana inevitable anyway. I think we just get Soul Ring here.
there is. Yeah, I guess.
But do we want to make a? Do we want to make a robot
Yeah,
here?
that's what I'm wondering.
A robot will be a 2/2.
Nah, we can get Tevish down. I think that's
Yeah,
just too good.
I agree. I would rather report him anyway than spend the mana. So just yeah, just
Yeah.
tap.
I was definitely considering it, but
Yeah, we can port or just get Tevishzad out. Yeah,
so if we use Soul Ring, we can't port this turn, but we have a Soul Ring. So I think
yeah, this is better. I think we just play Tevishzad this turn. We don't need to port.
yeah. All right. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we just got to do it this way,
That's fine.
and then we can put some mana in the bank for next turn. I
G
just need to
G.
see.
That was so savage.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the powerful cards that we overcame so quickly, just further testament to how insane this deck really is. It is
Yeah.
so good.
I mean, the thing is, even though the win was fine, right? It was easy enough. From our side of the table, like imagine if we're playing a more a less powerful or a less consistent deck at dealing with threats. Look at the two cards that the opponent played. Like
Yeah,
these are hugely scary cards to deal with
incredibly scary, powerful. Also,
early.
keep in mind there's one other thing here that the Curse of Opulence is actually still okay with this situation because Rogue Ra can accumulate mana over turns by attacking on the turns when you
Right.
don't tap him immediately, when you don't need the mana. So we could get a treasure, and the next turn we have the ability to cast Necro anyway. He
Right.
effectively
And we
does
get
make
to
2 mana.
move the mantle to the 0/1s, and then it just is a permanent mana source.
Yeah, pretty damn good. I'm impressed with it. So thank you for the games,
Yeah.
Nate. I'm going to stop the video here, and we got some cool stuff recorded. It'll be fun to collaborate on some future games. So people in the audience, stay tuned for that. If you got some comments about what it's like to watch some collaborative games between Nate and me in real time, I'd love to hear them. And thanks, as always, for watching and supporting the channel. See you guys later.